Hi everyone, and welcome to another one of my videos. This one is for IXL, I8, convert between improper fractions and mixed numbers. We'll be looking at how to do both those. So a couple things we're going to be looking at also is how we can do some of the things in IXL, and some of the things I expect you to be doing especially if you're in my class here. So let's take a look here. One of the first things if you get into IXL, the very first problem you get in, if you don't know how to do it, sometimes you'll be assigned these without having much experience with them. Sometimes we'll go over them in class before. But you can also always do this learn by example here. So let's take a look at this first. Let's go ahead and learn by example. So on this learn by example, it'll give you an example of how to do some of these types of problems. So in this case, we're asked to write 5 1/8 as an improper fraction. So in order to do this, it says write 5 as a fraction with 8 as the denominator. So what they're doing is they're taking and writing 5 as a fraction by putting 5 over 1. And they're multiplying both those by 8 so they can get it 8 in the denominator, so they end up with 48. And then once they have 5 as the denominator, one thing we want to remember here is a couple of important things with this is as we're going over this, and that is that what this really means right here. Let's take a look at a couple of things here. 5 and 1/8. What you can really think about that really means 5 wholes plus 1/8. So that's kind of what it really means, is that idea of 5 wholes plus 1/8. So if you think of it that way, we now have the 5 as 40 over 8, and then we're just going to add the 1/8 to it, so we end up with 41/8. And that's how you can take the 5 and 1/8 and get it to 41/8. So the key is we got to find out how many, in this case 8s, are in that whole number. And there is a shortcut to do this, and that's what we're going to look at, is this shortcut. So if we have 5 and 1/8, shortcut to this is we can just we need to know how many 8s are in the 5 wholes, and we can do that by just taking 5 and timesing it by 8. So we go 5 times 8 and then plus 1 to get that. Now remember, we're going to be over 8. Our denominator stays the same. That's 8. So we go 5 times 8, and then we're going to add 1. So 5 times 8 is 40 plus 1, and that's over 8, so we end up with 41/8. So that's our shortcut, because when we take 5 times 8, that tells us how many 8s are in the whole number, and that's really what we need to find out. So let's take a look and do a couple of these, and then we'll also learn how to do write an improper fraction as a mixed number. Okay, so let's go ahead here. So this one is 9 2/9, and they want us to write that as a improper fraction. So again, we can take that and write it down here as so we have 9 2/9. So to figure out how many ninths there are, how many 1/9 there are in 9 wholes, we take 9 times 9. So that would be 9 times 9 plus the 2/9 we already have. And that ends up being over 9. Our denominator stays the same. So that would end up being 9 times 9 is 81 plus the 2. And that's over 9, so we end up with 83/9. So that's the way we can fill that one out. So we can go ahead and put in 83/9. and we put them in with the fraction bar, with the division bar like that. That's where you put in fractions most of the time when you're typing them in, and submit that. Now this one we're going the other way. So we're going to write the improper fraction as a whole number. And for these, you're going to use division. So we're going to take this and divide this out. So we're going to take 8/7. So basically, you just take it, and we have 8 divided by 7. Remember, fractions we can look at as division. So 7 into 8, that goes one time, and that goes 1. So we have a remainder of 1. Now, this first one is how many wholes we have. So this is 1, and the second one is over our denominator. So again, the denominator stays the same. So that is 1 and 1/7. So 1, and you put a space in there to write those out. Okay. Now let's go up to, let me see if we can go up the next level and get one maybe that's a little bit harder here. Want to try to get a, here I know what we can do. Here's one here, it's a little bit harder, okay? So let's look at it. And let's say if we don't know how to do this, one thing you can do is just get it wrong and you'll get a hint. Let's go ahead and work through this though anyway. But if you don't know how to do it, so we can divide this out. So we just go through, divide it out. So we want 5 into 29. And how many times 5 go into 29? That would be 5 times. So that would be 25. Subtract that down. We end up with 4. So our remainder of 4. So that's our remainder of 4. So we end up with 5, and so it goes in there 5 wholes, and we have 4/5 left. So that's what you'd put in there. Let's say you don't know how to do that. What you can do is you can just put something in there, hit submit, and you'll get it incorrect, and it will show you how to do it. And it just says here, divide it by 5, you get 5, remainder of 4. So you get 5 and 4/5, just like we said. So if you don't know how to do it, get it wrong, and use this wrong. Now, here's a caution. If you get one wrong, don't just move on. Don't just click on this I got it button. Okay? Make sure you read through it and figure out why you got it wrong. Learn from this, okay? Figure out why you got it wrong. Figure out how to do it. Use this as a learning opportunity. You need to be as much as learning on your own as you can. That's an important skill we're really going to work on. Okay, learning it on your own. If you can learn it on your own, that's going to be something you can do for the rest of your life. Okay, so read through the instructions. See what you did wrong if you missed these. Okay? All right, good luck, and let me know if you have any questions. Have a good day. Bye.